No, we are a nation of laws, and we must remain so. This is one of the prices we pay to keep our freedom. I agree this is a burden created by the previous administration, but we must bear it to keep our freedom intact. Does the Trump administration's handling of the case of Kilmar Abrego García threaten our Constitution? Could that case lead to the government being able to deport you and your family from the United States? Welcome, Patriots, to this edition of Common Sense for America. I am Bruce Rutherford, your host and commentator, coming to you from the beautiful Westwood Golf Club in Houston, Texas. If you're watching our podcast, please like us and subscribe to this channel. If you're listening to us on YouTube, please rate us and give us your review. Your reviews are the best way we have of learning what you think and what you want. Now, who is Kilmar Abrego García, and why is his case so important? Now, Mr. Garcia is an El Salvadorian national who entered the United States illegally via the Mexican border in March of 2012. This fact is not in dispute. He married an American citizen, and he has a child with her, and he has been father to her two other children. Now, in 2019, two different immigration judges found that there was sufficient evidence to support the charge that Mr. Garcia was a member of the international criminal gang known as MS-13. Mr. Garcia was not deported to El Salvador then because he claimed he feared he would be killed by a rival gang called Barrio 18 in El Salvador. Now notice, he's afraid to be killed by a rival gang because he must be a gang member. I mean, you can't make this claim that you're afraid of being killed by a gang if you're not already in a gang. At least that's my analysis of this. His deportation was postponed by a withholding of removal order, which was never set aside. Now, fast forward to December 2022. Mr. Garcia is stopped for speeding with 8 people in his vehicle. He admitted he was transporting them from Texas to Maryland. None of the 8 had any luggage, and none spoke English. All gave Mr. Garcia's home address as their home address. Now, at first, Mr. Garcia pretended that he did not speak English, but later he claimed in English that he was transporting construction workers for his boss to a construction site. Mr. Garcia was given a warning for speeding and driving with an expired driver's license and allowed to go on his way. Now, this was despite the fact that the highway patrolman at this incident was suspicious that he was really engaged in human trafficking. In March, Mr. Garcia was detained and deported to El Salvador with other illegal aliens. Now, at first, the U.S. government said his deportation was a clerical error, probably due to the old withholding of removal order. Now the government says there was no error. ACLU and other lawyers say Mr. Garcia's rights were violated because he was not given prior notice or a hearing to state his case before his deportation. Now, Mr. Garcia is not protected from deportation by his marriage to a U.S. citizen because he entered the country illegally and never took steps to obtain legal residency in the U.S. Now, does a person who is not a citizen of the U.S., who entered the country illegally, have a right to a hearing to state their case before they are deported? If they have been in the country more than 2 years and were arrested more than 100 miles from the border, the law says they do have a right to a hearing. Mr. Garcia, therefore, does have a right to a hearing in court. People arrested near the border right after entering the U.S. illegally are subject to what's called expedited deportation without a hearing. And that's not the case for Mr. Garcia. Now, does this case threaten the rights of U.S. citizens? Of course it does not. The rights of U.S. citizens are not in question in this case, and claims that the administration is threatening the rights of U.S. citizens is political hyperbole. But Mr. Garcia is entitled to a hearing, and we should give him one. The rule of law is an important protection of our democracy, and we should not allow the rule of law to be eroded. Now, how should we proceed with Mr. Garcia? Well, first of all, he need not be physically present at his hearing. He could attend from El Salvador via a Zoom call or a team meeting. The bigger question are the 8 million illegal immigrants allowed into the country during the Biden administration. Now, they are entitled to a hearing, or at least most of them are probably entitled to a hearing. Now, we must devise an expedited hearing process whereby hundreds, if not thousands of people can be given the chance to be heard by a judge in a valid legal process. Now, we could do that by convening a hearing and asking the accused assembly of hundreds to thousands of people 2 questions. Can you prove you are a U.S. citizen? Or can you prove that you've been granted the legal right to be in the United States by a competent authority? Only those answering yes to one of those 2 questions will be given further consideration. Everybody else will be deported. No, we are a nation of laws, and we must remain so. This is one of the prices we pay to keep our freedom. I agree, this is a burden created by the previous administration, but we must bear it to keep our freedom intact. President Trump should embrace this burden as the Chief Justice Officer of the United States and get the credit he deserves for protecting our freedom. Now, I hope you will discuss the Garcia case with your friends and colleagues. Please share with us in our comments section what you and what they think about this issue. Now, we love hearing from you. If you're watching one of our podcasts, please rate us and give us a review. If you're watching on YouTube, please like us and subscribe to this channel. Now, please join us next time when we will examine American isolationism and its implications. Until then, God bless you and yours, and God bless America.